Hey guys, Allard here, your new favourite cardboard connoisseur and Dark Magician enthusiast. Here is a brand new deck with the Dark Magician White Woods toy box. White Forest toy box. I'll start off with a 1 Dark Magician. Mahad. Dark Magician Girl. Yes, that means we can get a top maximum of 3 draws from this. 2 Illusion of Chaos. Timaeus, 1 Rod, 3 Magician Souls, 2 Soul Servant, 1 Secrets of Dark Magic, yes, I'm using it for this build, 1 Dark Magical Circle, Magician Salvation, and Eternal Soul. Now that's just for the Dark Magician cards. Onto the White Forest cards now. 1 Alistair of the White Forest, 2 Elzette of the White Forest, 1 Rusia of the White Forest, 1 Sylvie of the White Forest, 1 Tales of the White Forest, 1 Beware the White Forest, and 1 Susurrus of the Sinful Spoils. And that's it for the White Forest cards. Now that ratio works best for me. You might want to go onto Omega and find out the ratios that work best for you. Now onto the toy box. Typical toy box. 3 toy box, 1 toy soldier, 1 toy tank. And for the rest of the cards in the main deck, 2 Preparation of Rites, Terraforming, Secret Village of the Spellcasters, 3 Super Poly, 2 Forbidden Droplet, 1 Spell Card Monster Reborn, and 1 Angel Statue as a Rune. Now on for the extra deck. 2 Dragoon, 1 Garura, the Wings of Resonant Life, Mud Dragon of the Swamp, and Aerial Eater. Those 3 are just the cards I'll be using for Super Poly targets. Now for the Synchros, Silvera, Wolf Tamer of the White Forest, Resila, Sinister Soul of the White Forest, Diabelle, Queen of the White Forest, Chaos Angel, Abyss Dweller, Relinquish Anima, Silhouette Rabbit, Lena the Light Charmer Lustrous. That instead of dark, basically, because there's a lot of light types in this, and the new Fiendsmith cards are light types, basically, so it's just going to allow you to steal their cards. Makes sense for the next lot, which is the Selene, Queen of Master Magicians, and the access code. Now for the side deck, yeah, got your tokens as normal, though I'm not using Nibiru in this build, as it's kind of irrelevant, this format, for the best part anyway. 1 Divine Arsenal, AA Zeus Sky Thunder, because, you know, all else fails, you know, you can just attack in with Abyss Dweller, hopefully it doesn't get destroyed, go into Zeus, banish 2 materials, or I should say discard 2 materials, and then you get to wipe the field. For the Instant Fusion package, I've got Instant Fusion, obviously. Alvain, the Essence of Vanity. Magicy Beast, Anisilabas. I can't pronounce that for love nor money. Millennium Ice Restrict, which is good. Some of these cards are basically, the Millennium Ice Restrict is a negate, and it's also just kind of used as a starter. So if you want to go into link climbing or tributing or whatever you want to do with it, basically. Then I have Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, because we have some cards in that just allows you to get them out level 8 Synchro or level 6 Synchro or something, and you know, you've got a few other cards to mess around with. Ultimate 3 times Ultimate Slayer, because I still think it's a good card despite what people say. 2 Triple Tactics Talent, which allows you to steal cards, which will allow you to go into other things as well. Draw 2, for instance. 1 Lightning Storm, and 3 Evenly Matched. Right guys, time for those lovely test hands. Let's start shuffling the deck. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I have done test hands prior to this, which, you know, I would always recommend when you are doing test hands, if you've got like a booklet or anything, just to write down what your hand is, and then start going into like, okay, so like I do with these videos. So, you know, you activate Rod to get Magician's Dark Magical Circle, whatever. That kind of thing. So, you know what you're doing with your hand. And then later on you can look at it. And then you can decide that that's a trash hand. But not too bad. So let's see what we can do with this. So you can decide what you're going to do, like, okay, this is the hand I had, this is the routes that I chose, write it all down, and then you go back to it, see if you can optimize that, what you would have changed before, what you go into, you know, what you would do better next time, that kind of thing. So, let's see. First of all, I'm going to activate Magician Salvation. Get Eternal Soul on the field. It's all about thinning the deck. Some Magician's Rod. There's really not a lot you could do right now with this hand, but let's go for Circle. Then you're going to want to start to thin the deck out, because this is terrible. Okay, if you control an illusion, monster or spellcaster, thank God we play Dark Magician. Add 1 forest monster from your deck to your hand, so activate Tales of the White Forest. I'm going to go for Elza. Activate Elza, you can just get rid of this. Special summon it, which then allows you to add 1 white forest monster from your deck to your hand. And I'm going to pick Rusia. Then I'm going to activate Rusia and get rid of Eternal Soul. Special summon it. Oh, sorry, special summon it, then I'll get rid of Eternal. So, what would be the best? You see, this is what I'm saying, write it down. So instead of doing that, so I've got this in my hand, I will activate Dark Magical Circle. I've got the top 3 cards. Perfect. Set IOC to the top. Special summon this. Get rid of Eternal Soul to draw IOC. Activate IOC for Magician's Souls. Add Angel Statue as a rune to the top of your deck. Activate Magician's Souls by pitching Dark Magician to the graveyard. And don't forget, even though this looks terrible, these cards do things while they're in the graveyard, so please look them up before you start doing this build. I've chosen my ratios the way I have because it worked best for me. Now, back to this. So these two cards to the graveyard, so I've got, they're in my hand. Send these two cards to the graveyard to synchro summon this card in attack mode. Remember, these increase their attacks as well by like 500, so it's technically like 2500 on the field. Then what I'm going to do with this card is, is nothing for the moment. I'm going to send these two cards to the graveyard. For Silverheart Rabbit, activate Silverheart Rabbit. Set as a rune. Which that isn't a lot. But you remember these cards have effects in the graveyard. You've got two monsters on the field. You've got Silverheart Rabbit. You've got Azaroon. And if you manage by some miracle to special summon Dark Magician, you've got a banish as well. Alright, let's try that again. I must admit, kind of like one of my favourite, when I was doing the test runs prior to this, is I had Secret Village, Dragoon and Silverheart Rabbit. So kind of like almost like a full-on combo. I had everything, a banish, I had a card in hand for Dragoon, I had Silverheart Rabbit and Azaroon. It was just great. So, nope. Kinda. If you like. Technically, I could activate this card to get Secrets of Dark Magic, and if I could have been bothered to add it in, that would then give me straight away Quintet Magician, which I've been thinking about adding in, but fortunately there's no card that will just get you directly to Magicalized Fusion without sacrificing been locked into fusions, or to be, basically there's just no direct way to get through to it. So let's see what I can do with this. Okay, I've already got Dark Magician in hand. So if I activate this to send DMG to the graveyard, summon Rod to give me Soul Servant, use Magician Souls to pitch Soul Servant to the graveyard to draw one card, use IOC to give me Timaeus, now what card am I going to add back? IOC. Right. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of Rod for Timaeus. Timaeus activate Dark Magician and Timaeus in the graveyard to give me Dragoon. Oh, move that away. No, wait a minute, who cares? It can't be targeted. Right. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to banish Soul Servant for 2 draws, because I've got Dark Magician Girl and Dark Magician in the graveyard. So IOC's back in hand, and why does that keep coming to my hand? Well, in that case, what could I do with this hand? Best to pitch that to the graveyard for that. Then special summon that with that. Still got OC in hand, don't have any spells, so we go straight into that. So, and then just go to that. And remember, these whiteforest cards do things in the graveyard as well. That's not too bad. I have had better test hands, so one more test hand. Oh. Okay, not too bad. Pitch darkmagician to the graveyard. Send Soul Swap into the graveyard for a draw with souls. Gonna want to keep that. Send that to the graveyard. Special summon that. Banish Soul 7 for a draw. Activate tie box. Tie tank. For the card's effect, send tie tank to the graveyard to draw a card. Special summon that card. Get rid of these two. For this, activate this card. To activate this card to get rid of my toy soldier. To add level 4 spellcaster to my hand. This one. Let's activate toy soldier's effects. And that also allows. Oh no, wait a minute. Add one light spellcaster to add this card. Toy soldier then will get me that card. Activate terraforming to get me secret village. Keep that's on the field. Keep these two cards in hand. Send toy soldier and toy tank to the graveyard. Or am I like send toy soldier and toy tank overlay for Abyss Dweller. Graveyard lock, spell lock, super poly, it's usually enough.